Hey loves, and welcome to Heart Love Messages. My name is Crystal. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you are already subscribed here, welcome back. So tonight I have a love message from your person. I will be pulling from this deck here just to see how your person is currently feeling, how they are currently viewing you and or your connection, as well as any other important messages that they may have for you at this time, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get a very clear and concise message directly from their heart space. Okay, so the first message that we have is I fear your light. Wow. And there's just this really heavy energy of truth that's already coming through with the reading. So, Divine Feminine, I feel like there's a very heavy truth that's about to come out about you from this person that you are connected to. And it's deeply tied to the way that they view you. I'm picking up on a Divine Feminine that doesn't see themselves the way that other people see you, okay? You have no idea how your energy is interpreted. You have no idea how your presence kind of consumes a room, okay? You are a feminine that is carrying a very, very powerful light. And I'm even getting the words earth angel very, very clearly. So it's almost as if there's a huge difference between the way that you would explain your connection or you would kind of paint the picture of what's happening in your connection versus this masculine. Because there's just this really subtle energy of truth coming through. So this is something that your person really wishes that you knew about yourself. They genuinely fear your light, okay? And I'm not getting this in a way where they feel like your energy is overbearing or your energy is just way too bright for them. It's almost as if the light that you carry is so big that it exposes things about your person that they may not be ready to bring to the forefront. So this could be a connection that's unfolding in a very, very interesting way because it's almost as if you're not really aware of how you are affecting this masculine. So Divine Feminine, if you're wondering where your person is mentally and emotionally, they're definitely doing some soul searching, especially when it comes to how they show up in a connection. This is someone that is still trying to figure out how to place your energy because the way that they view you, I'm telling you, it is vastly different from the way that you view yourself. So I don't know if you identify with being an earth angel. I don't know if you are aware of how bright your light is or how triggering your energy can be in this way. But it's almost like your person is sitting down and they're really, really thinking about the way that you affect them and the way that the both of your energies are kind of merging at this time, okay? You could be shining a light on something that is very, very painful, something that could be a little hard for your person to admit to or even work through. But it's almost like you are completely oblivious. I keep getting that energy of you not being fully aware of how you affect other people, of how you shift the energy when you walk into the room, or very specifically how bright your light is, okay? You may know yourself to be, a very jovial person, a very healing person, a divine feminine that has a very, very potent type of aura. But you also have the ability to shine light in very, very dark spaces and to reveal things that people may not be ready to talk about, people may not be ready to bring to the surface. And so that may affect your connections. It's definitely having an effect on this masculine right now. So this could be tied to a certain conversation that you had. Maybe this is how your person felt the last time that they were in your presence. This could also be something that your person is contemplating before they come back around in your energy. But it just feels like this is a truth, a very, very straightforward, to the point truth. There's a masculine who fears your light, okay? And it's because you are an earth angel. You have a very, very powerful spiritual energy. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is you are my catalyst. Wow. Honestly, Divine Feminine, this card here is very, very telling. Okay. Not only does this masculine fear your light, but this masculine is going through a very intense power struggle when it comes to you. So, this message is tapping into some very, very deep information. These are things that your person have probably never said to you. They're also things that your person will probably never admit to you because this is tapping into their mental and emotional process. This masculine from day one has viewed you as a trigger, okay? When a person views you as a catalyst, there is both a positive and negative aspect to that. It's a very, very tricky type of energy, okay? But this masculine is extremely self aware. It's almost like they're identifying what it is that they feel about you. So they're definitely doing some soul searching, some healing. Okay, this is someone that is definitely looking over your connection or maybe even doing some research when it comes to their feelings or how it is that they really, really feel about you at this time. Okay, this is someone that is recognizing that the very thing that attracted them to you is also the thing that they fear. So this person could show up in this connection very, very hot and cold. Ever since you connected with this masculine, you have been a pivotal part of their self discovery or their self healing journey. So you have opened their eyes to a lot. And it's not necessarily that you came into their life wanting to be this guide, having this very intense or overbearing energy because you are an earth angel. Because again, it's almost like you're not seeing yourself in this way. You have no idea how this masculine is really viewing you. But you have an extremely powerful level of influence over this masculine. But it's gotten to the point where it's extremely triggering because it's very effortless for you, Divine Feminine. You're someone who stands in your power. You may live your life in a certain way. There's something that you do as it pertains to your personal journey that is just very raw and very authentic to you. But to other people, it is extremely big, okay? It is extremely bright. So, whether you know it or not, you're triggering this masculine when it comes to the confidence that you have in yourself, the confidence that you have in your walk, your spirituality, who you are as a person, your career. This can manifest in many, many different ways. And the reason why you're not picking up on this energy, Divine Feminine, is because you are on assignment, okay? When God places you in someone's life to be a catalyst, when you carry this very powerful earth angel energy, triggering people is the goal, okay? That's your actual purpose. You are placed in people's lives to be very big, to have a very big energy, a very bold energy, to the point where you inspire them to step into their power. So, this is what you're doing at this time, whether you know it or not. But the way this energy is coming through is so interesting because it's almost like you're just existing, okay? This masculine is having such a powerful, visceral reaction to you, and you have no idea. And it's because you are an earth angel, specifically who was sent to this masculine to awaken them, to trigger them. So they're in this really, really tricky spot because it's almost like the thing that they fear or the thing that intimidates them or the thing that triggers them about you is also the thing that they love about you, okay? It's what drew them to you in the first place. It's what's actually holding this connection together at this time. So if you notice that your person is being hot and cold with you, or there's like this really weird type of push and pull dynamic where one moment your person's energy is very open, they're very charismatic, they can kind of talk to you about anything, and then the next minute they're very reserved. They could even come off a little bit cold towards you. Don't take that personal, okay? You are doing exactly what it is that you are supposed to do. Because I keep getting that. It's almost like your spiritual team wants you to know that if you're triggering this masculine, then you're doing the right thing. Because that is exactly what you were sent to do. But maybe you don't know how your energy is affecting them. Maybe your person is just giving you the cold shoulder at times. There's like this really weird dynamic that I'm tapping into where because you're unable to kind of see yourself the way that this masculine sees you, you may be taking offense to certain things. But I'm getting that the way that this person is showing up is not to slight you in any kind of way. You kind of throw them off. You make this masculine feel like they don't have any control. So by playing into this hot and cold dynamic, by playing into this push and pull dynamic, it gives them the illusion of control in a connection with someone who carries such a huge energy, okay, or such a huge light. This is just how your energy is coming through. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is I ignored God's warning. Wow. That is a very, very powerful energy. Wow, and I keep getting the words, be careful with me. So, Divine Feminine, another thing that you may not know that's taking place right now in your connection is that your person is receiving a lot of inner guidance when it comes to them speaking to you, when it comes to how they handle you in the connection, how they talk to you, how they engage you. And it's manifesting as like an inner knowing or an inner voice. And I feel like they're being guided in this way because of who you are in the spiritual realm, because you carry this earth angel energy. I'm also getting very clearly that you were sent to save this masculine. And it almost feels like they're kind of pushing against the very thing that they prayed for. They're talking themselves out of something that they really, really desire as it pertains to their healing, their love life. It's something that they manifested and you showed up, okay? You are a huge piece of this puzzle. But because your light is so big, because your light is so bright and your energy is so triggering, this masculine is in a full blown power dynamic with you, okay? It's almost like they find ways to shift the power because you may not understand how much you pull on their energy. And this may happen in ways that they have no control over, okay? When they see you, they could expect, talking to you to go a certain way, or they may expect being in your presence to play out a certain way. And it's like the minute you enter the room, the minute you open your mouth, the minute you say something, you shine light on a lot of this person's darkness. And this is darkness meaning hidden, not necessarily meaning negative, but things that they're not really able to bring to the forefront. There may be certain things that you bring up, Divine Feminine, that this person hasn't even touched on. And you are just able to speak to certain things with a level of confidence that makes this masculine fear your light, okay? But this is also something that your person is tapping into while they're in this moment of reflection, that they were actually warned about how to deal with you. They were warned about how to handle your energy, about how to handle someone like you. And it's manifested for them as this inner voice or this inner knowing, telling them to be gentle with you, telling them, to listen, almost like they've been given certain instructions. And this is all new for this person. They've never dealt with anyone that has your type of spiritual rank. They've never dealt with an earth angel. But this is definitely tapping into a masculine who may have a dark past, who may have certain parts in themselves that are hidden, who didn't understand that falling in love with the earth angel was going to bring all of that to the surface. So there's something very interesting happening in your connection because it's almost like your person can't really put words to what it is that you make them feel. But they were definitely warned about how they should handle you, how they should treat you, how they should speak to you, how they should show up in this connection. But because this energy was coming to them on a more internal level, it feels like they ignored it. But now as they're sitting back and they're reflecting, all of this is showing up for them, okay? Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is I should have protected you. Whether you know it or not, Divine Feminine, your person is in a place right now where they are learning firsthand exactly why you were sent to them. And it kind of has them feeling crazy because they may not be able to put words to describe your energy or your essence. They may not call you an earth angel, but your energy is very, very clear. This is someone who is realizing that God sent you as a form of spiritual protection and they didn't uphold their end of the bargain. When the feminine comes to the masculine in the form of an earth angel, it means that this is a masculine that's worthy of a certain level of spiritual protection, but they didn't see it this way. And because you carry such this bright energy, Divine Feminine, you're used to your own essence, okay? People see you in a way that you don't see yourself. So the way that you showed up in this connection is very, very telling. It's almost like you sat back and you allowed this masculine to take the driver's seat. You allowed this masculine to initiate, you allowed them to take the lead. They were consciously or subconsciously in this position where they felt like they had all of the control when it comes to what happened, when it happened, just the way that your connection would naturally unfold. But they're actually finding out that you are more spiritually aware, that you are way more spiritually inclined. This is why they were receiving all of those warnings from the divine to be careful with how they show up in your presence, to be careful with how they handle your energy, because you were literally sent into their lives to spiritually protect them. But because this masculine was so triggered by what you can see in them, by you kind of shining a light on all of their dark places, they kind of wanted to assert dominance with you. And not in a way physically, but psychologically. Okay? This is just how the energy is coming through. And this may be very, very specific. This may not resonate with everyone. But there was kind of this mental tug of war that was happening. This is someone that would really, really open up and show you the lighter side of their energy. And when they felt like you saw too much or it was way too vulnerable or you were going too deep, that's when they would switch and become extremely cold. They would pull back. They thought that this was some form of a control. But God is showing them that what they assumed to be control was merely an illusion. So with this card here, I should have protected you. It's almost like this masculine feels ashamed at how they handled an earth angel, at how they handled the person that God literally sent to save their lives or to spiritually protect them. Because how it's truly supposed to be is that the feminine merges with the masculine, and because you are so deep into the unseen realm, you're able to tap into intuition. You can help this masculine by giving them insight on all the things that they can't see, by walking into a room and filling out the energy and telling them who's good energy, who's bad energy, what is the energy around their career, how they should move. You are an asset. And in return, the masculine is to show up and to protect you physically, to make sure that you can navigate the 3D realm, the physical realm, unscathed. You could just be your wonderful, magnificent, manifesting, free flowing earth angel self. That is the divine exchange. And so this masculine is realizing that, wow, divine feminine held up her part of the bargain. You came, even though you triggered them, you came into their lives, you brought light to what was dark, and they could have returned the favor by pulling back their energy. And for some of you, this is completely unspoken, okay? This is deeply tapping into your person's mental process right now. They're being made aware of how they handled a gift, how they handled someone that God literally sent to them to heal them or to help them heal or to at least help them face the right direction. So yeah, this masculine is definitely feeling ashamed at how they handled your energy, or how they mishandled your energy, I should say. They really, really feel like they should have protected you. But instead, I'm just getting they had a very adverse reaction to you, Divine Feminine, to your light. And for some reason, your spiritual team really, really wants you to know why. Or they want you to know this about yourself, that you are an earth angel, that you are here to trigger people, that oftentimes when you go into relationships, not even just romantic relationships, people will be attracted to the very thing that they fear. And so that makes you incredibly magnetic, but it also creates this really weird dynamic in your connections. Your spiritual team wants you to know why. It's because you have an extremely bright light. And a lot of people may not know how to handle that. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is your energy is haunting me. And see, this is tapping into that push-pull type of dynamic, or that effect that you have on people. This masculine still does not understand how to place your energy. This is someone that feels incredibly exposed by you, but then again, your energy is haunting them. They cannot stop thinking about you. They could be dreaming about you, okay? This is someone that may be looking at you from afar or watching you from afar. If you are in close proximity to this masculine, they're definitely keeping tabs on you, okay? For some of you, you are in a connection with this masculine right now, and all of this is completely unspoken. This is what's going on inside of their mind while they're having conversations with you, or while they're on the other side of your gaze. Your energy is incredibly haunting because of what they feel like you know about them. But again, you're just existing, okay? It's almost like you're completely oblivious to how this masculine is viewing you at this time. But whether you know it or not, your energy is incredibly intense. It also feels like your person is responding to you in this way, Divine Feminine, because you're the only person who has access to this side of them. You have seen a very, very raw side of this masculine. I don't know what this masculine opened up and told you. I don't know what you were able to extract via your conversations, or, something that you discussed with them recently. You hit a nerve, okay? You went very, very deep, or you gave the masculine this space to explore something within themselves that was just incredibly triggering. And because you're the person who brought this out of them, they're just really, really reacting to you in a very, very different way, okay? But at the same time, they want to be around you. They want to be in your presence. They want to speak to you. They want to open up to you. This is what it feels like when you are a catalyst. And I'm getting that this is not an isolated situation. This is not only unique to your love life. Other people in your life may also react to you in this way, or view you in this way. So if you notice this kind of cyclical energy when it comes to your relationships, it's because of who you are, Divine Feminine. That is coming through very, very clearly. You are an earth angel. You are here equipped with information about people that is absolutely terrifying. You're the type of person who can walk into a room and you can see the inside of people. You don't care how it is that they present physically. It doesn't matter about their status, their title, the way that they present physically. You have access to something deeper. And that absolutely haunts people. So, to everyone else in their lives, they may be able to navigate, everything may be free flowing, relationships may be very, very effortless. But with you, it is this very weird, tricky dynamic. This dynamic where the very thing that they crave is also the thing that is incredibly triggering. I'm also picking up on very high levels of sacral energy. So this masculine may also be feeling a very deep sexual pull to you, or very, very deep desires to you at this time, Divine Feminine. And it's coming through in a way that they can't really control. Your energy is haunting them. But it's almost like they know the minute that they get into your presence, you're going to trigger them. Just by existing, you're going to trigger them by what it is that you can see. And they don't even have to say a word. Okay? So you have an incredibly powerful aura. You're also here on a very, very powerful assignment. Earth angel energy is extremely rare. And it's because of the level of access that you have, the things that you're able to see. You have to have a very, very strong stomach, okay? You also have to have a massive heart space because you tap into the things that people don't lead with. I mean, deep, dark secrets, familial history, the list goes on, okay? It can get very deep, it can get very dark. So in order for you to even have that type of mission, you have to have a certain level of strength, a certain level of armor. So not a lot of things really set you off. This is why your spiritual team wants you to know how you're being viewed. Because it's almost like you are just so powerful and you don't see it. You don't see how other people react to you. You're used to your own energy. You definitely carry an essence where people never forget you. This is how a lot of people may feel in your life as well. They may feel like they should have protected you because you leave a lot of people triggered, but they don't understand that them being triggered is the whole purpose. That's why God sent you. It's a good thing. Anything that triggers you opens you up. It opens you up to new possibilities and makes you think. It really aligns you with the energy of curiosity for the purpose of your soul growth. So the way this energy is coming through, this masculine is not showing up in this way to slight you at all, divine feminine. This is just tapping into a very, very deep truth about how they see you, okay? And they may never utter these words to you, ever, because of their pride, because of their ego. But because of who you are, your spiritual team wants you to know how you're being viewed and why. Okay? Let's get the last message here. Okay, so the last message that we have is, you'll never understand me. Wow. I feel like this is tapping into both you and this masculine's energy. Okay? You carry a very, very powerful spiritual essence. But this masculine is also navigating something that is extremely sensitive. And to be honest, this masculine may play into this dynamic with you until they feel like it's safe enough for them to really show you a consistent side of their energy or side of their personality. And what's so weird about this energy, divine feminine, is that this masculine feels like you should understand what it is that they're going through, okay? It's almost like they're trying to put into words what it feels like to be in a connection with you, or what it feels like to love someone like you, okay? It's a complete isolated experience. And they feel like you'll never understand it because, again, you don't have an idea of how your energy is received or how you make other people feel or how you trigger other people, unless you may have someone in your life who also carries a very, very big spiritual presence where you may know what it feels like to be on the other side of that. But it's almost like this masculine is really, really trying to work through their emotions for you. So even though I'm picking up on really, really hot and cold energy, push and pull energy, just a really, really tricky dynamic or a connection that's in a really tricky space, it is so much deeper than that. This is tapping into a connection where the entire dynamic is about to shift because now you both have information about one another that was not accessible at first. This masculine may have thought that you were just triggering them for the hell of it, and you may have assumed that this masculine was just being hot and cold with you for different reasons. Could be external energy, could be something that they're hiding, maybe something that they don't want to say in a connection. But I'm not getting that at all, okay? I'm getting that this is a connection that was orchestrated. There is a reason why you're in this masculine's life. God doesn't just place earth angels with anyone, okay? So there is something in this masculine that you are cultivating or that you're helping them to discover. But if they could be 100% honest with you, Divine Feminine, they feel like you would never understand what it feels like to be in their shoes, to love someone like you who has such a bright light, because it is very, very intense. So even though there's this energy of momentum, your connection may begin to move in a different direction or in a direction that feels lighter. If I'm being completely honest, this masculine may continue to play into this dynamic until they get a certain level of clarity or until they feel a certain level of comfortability with you, Divine Feminine. Because right now, although they do have this information, although they are receiving a lot of confirmation around who you are, how they should have handled you, what they should have done, their role in the connection, what they're experiencing mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and sexually is something that is completely isolated. It's very, very hard for them to put into words. And until they reach that point of divine completion or total divine clarity, they may definitely play into this dynamic. Because for them, it's almost like that's what makes them feel safe. As a masculine, that's what makes them feel powerful. But it's so interesting because this is someone who's already made up their mind about you. They definitely have a lot of love for you. They definitely have a lot of respect for you. But if they were to be 100% honest, you trigger them. You trigger the hell out of this masculine by just existing. And for some reason, it's extremely important for you to know that at this time. So there could be something that's about to transpire in your connection. And everything that came out in this reading is really going to help you navigate the next stages of your connection. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end the reading here. If you resonated with this message, please be sure to hit the like button on your way out. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to head over to Patreon to continue the reading. If you would like to join us over on Patreon for the extended readings, you can find all the information in the first comment down below. Also information on how to book personal readings with me. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.